Welcome back! The ladies, the gentlemen, the Gungans, the Druid, the Keanu Mundi Coneheads! And you know what? A big shout out to all the four-legged critters out there. Oh, where'd they go? Harley? Do you want a treat? Yeah! We're rolling. Yeah, people. We're on the movie. Yeah, you can barely see. You just see Kyle's lovely. Harley, want a treat? Want a treat? Yeah, I know you want. Yeah, you want a treat. Ha! But I got a treat for you guys out there. We're doing AHN on the go. You know what that means? It means stuff being dropped when I'm gone. Always seems to be timed out conveniently when I'm gone. I gotta check. I swear they probably have a tracker on me. Almost certain. One of those times when I got to see them way back in the day, they probably put a tracker in their bathroom and I can't find it ever since then. You always say I gotta bug up my butt, so maybe that's what you meant. All right, people. We got some new news dropping on you here, people. And man, oh man, take a look at what we got here. We had some additional stuff after the drop of the great Mother's kit reveal. And we have, what is it? 1, 2, 3, like 4 things that we gotta break down. Number one, funny enough, I had a video I was gonna post today speculating on what the calendar meant. And I was like, it looks like there's a new ship coming, probably an Empire ship. And I was like, you know what? Because of the Bastila fallen and the lights at Bastila, I was thinking it's got to be Shin, Hati, Hati. I can't. Anytime I say it one way or another, people are like, oh my God, he said Hati. Oh my God, he said Hati. I don't know. Do you remember Shin from the Ahsoka show? This girl right here. Did you like Ahsoka? I can't remember.
Yeah.
There you go. She liked Ahsoka. How about Acolyte? How far did you make it in?
I like not to make a comment on it.
No comments on it. All right. All right, people. So we have Shin Hati confirmed. We have Marrok, or as a lot of people also call them, Star Killer. I told you guys it wasn't Star Killer. Let me just, before we get to anything else, when this guy dies in battle, he better turn into a giant Nightsister fart. That was the most hilarious thing. Everyone's like, oh my God, it's gotta be Star Killer. And I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. And then, of course, the most epic of Nightsister farts out there. But on top of that, you remember when he died? It was just like a bit, yeah, see? Yeah. Yeah, because everyone was like, so there's this character called Star Killer, where in Legends, he was Vader's secret apprentice, which is kind of a cool concept, right? And everyone's like, oh my, what? Legends, so there's canon, which is like the official timeline, then Legends is basically pre-Disney. Like some of the stuff pre-Disney that, you know, Disney's like, no, we don't want that, but we might do it later on. But anyways, people are like, oh, that could be Star Killer, and then it turned out to be just a, Nightsister fart, yeah. Anyways, beyond that little lore breakdown, that's your, who needs Wikipedia when you got me for explanations? We have a further breakdown of the Mercenary tag, a lot of interesting tags we're going to kind of break down here in a moment. We also got a little bit more intel about Balin's Skull and the Mercenaries. And on top of a little tidbit here about the Galactic Legend of Ahsoka Tano. And lastly, we got a new ship for Dengar, the Punishing One. And for the people who've been playing Galaxy Heroes for a while, we thought they were going to release the Punishing One a lot sooner. They're like, oh yeah, because they have to go back in time. But it looked like when developers are talking about the Executor and the Bounty Hunter ships, or actually this may be before the Executor, we're like, they're talking a lot about the Punishing One out there. It never came out. I assume maybe they had assets made, but now's the time to bring it in. It's supposed to be an Executor lifter, but I'm going to do a little bit of 4D chest and think a little bit farther. So let's get down to it. Let's get straight to the top and work our way to the bottom. So they're calling this a community update. I see this more like a State of the Galaxy. I don't know. That kind of feels more State of the Galaxy-ish. Not quite a road ahead here. It's whatever. In between, I suppose. Here we go. Welcome to Star Wars Galaxy Heroes Community Update. Today, we'll be giving you insights in the new Mercenary tag and characters, Balin's Skull, and a small snippet of Galactic Legend of Ahsoka Tano. As a reminder, anything is subject to change. But without further ado, enjoy our first topic, the Mercenary tag. So this kind of flew under the radar, the Wadar. We talked a little bit about it a while ago, discussing, all right, there's a new Mercenary tag coming. Who could it be? You know, we're kind of distinguishing what's the difference between a mercenary and a bounty hunter. All bounty hunters are mercenaries, but not all mercenaries are bounty hunters. So let's say you have the big circle. This is mercenaries. That's like bounty hunters. So bounty hunters are like a subgroup within the mercenary group. So mercenaries should, hypothetically, be a lot broader of a tag to work with here. So let's check it out. Mercenary is a new faction that represents the soldiers of fortune of the Star Wars universe. Unlike bounty hunters, who are paid to bring a specific target, mercenaries are paid to perform a job, usually one involving or likely involving combat. Things are like being a bodyguard or attacking installation on behalf of a third party, their employer, which we've talked about in the past, kind of deciphering what the difference is. So why did they make this? they're trying to branch out a new faction. Obviously, Balin Skull looks like he's going to be at the helm of it, but let's see. There are a lot of characters in the Star Wars who are guns for hire and whose loyalty belongs to more to credits than any given side in the conflict. This does not mean they are neutral characters, as almost every character in Star Wars has pulled towards light. I feel like a sudden big breath of Hati behind me, towards the light or dark side in the grand scheme of things. So is it mercenary like a bounty hunter? So we just kind of explained that. Long story short, a bounty hunter can be considered an extremely specialized mercenary, yes, but not all mercs are bounty hunters, as we've discussed here. So for gameplay purposes, we're trying to keep the bounty hunters and the mercenaries separated as much as possible. You're one or the other, unless the version of the character specifically seen being doing both bounty hunter and broader mercenary work, like Chrysanthemum, for instance. And then moving forward here, they're going to be talking about what other new characters are coming. Well, here you go. Here you go. There are 3 characters coming to Star Wars Galaxies with the mercenary tag this year. Balin Skull will be the leader. Did you hear the guy who played Balin Skull passed away? Yeah, unfortunate. I was saying they should just cast Tom Holland. Tom Holland's in everything, right? It's a shit. It's supposed to be a joke. Like everything's Tom Holland and what's her name, Zendaya, right? So that's us. Yeah, okay. It fell flat. Shouldn't get those jokes. She's taking the Balin Skull role very seriously, and she should. Then we're moving on. Balin Skull will be the leader, and Shin, Hati, Hati, whatever. I don't know. Tell me which one is it. Is it Hati, like the country, or is it Hati? Because people think she's a Hati. Not me, of course. Not me. But people like she's a Hati. I would never. That's disgusting. Will be mercenaries designed to work under him. Additionally, many, but not all, characters who have been defined as mercenaries in lore will receive a mercenary tag, making them synergize with other mercenaries and especially Balin Skull. And there's one that really interests me. Actually, there's a lot, but there's one that I really hope turns out to be really good. So here you go. How do old and new mercenaries work together? Mercenaries are the only faction that have the Soldier of Fortune effect. This is the stacking blue stats effect that does nothing on its own, but when paired with the new mercenaries, various effects will be added to the character in question based on the number of stacks of SOF that they have. Only a mercenary leader can have the ability to give stacks of SOF to all of the mercenaries and other in their squad. Initially, this is only Balin Skull, so no one else at the moment, but we'll see. Balin, Shin, and Merrok will have the effects they give to all mercenaries based on the number of SOF stacks that they have. Then Balin, Shin, Merrok also have ways and the gain and lose the stacks of Soldier of Fortune for themselves and their own kits. This allows Shin and Merrok to synergize even without Balin in the squads. That's going to be maybe a thing of interest. You might not get Balin right away, but you might get Shin, you might get Merrok right away, and you want to just see, okay, can I use them without them? Hopefully that's going to be the case here. Older characters will benefit. We already went over that. Yeah. Example, a squad made up of Balin, Shin, Merrok, Han Solo, and Dash Rendar. So we're going to be getting over the characters who are going to be getting this tag. We'll see Balin handing out SOF stacks to everyone, including himself. Shin and Merrok will also be adding stacks to themselves, and Han and Dash are reliant on getting the stacks from Balin Skull. So Balin's going to be kind of, I guess, the conduit to kind of move the stuff around. So here's, again, further giving us an example. It's going to make more sense when we see a kit reveal down the road. So I'm not too, gung-ho, too worried about understanding this right now. Balin will give the mercenaries a Soldier of Fortune effects a stacking buff we'll call Buff 1. Shin will give them a stacking buff we'll call Buff 2. Merrok will give them a stacking buff we'll call Buff 3. Because of this, all 5 members of the squad, including Han and Dash, will have Buff 1, Buff 2, and Buff 3 in varying levels of efficacy because of the amount of Soldier of Fortune stacks that they have, that they will not be identical to one another, due to different ways each character can gain or lose them. And then being a Soldier of Fortune stacks on older characters and having them reap benefits from those stacks via the new mercenary. Characters will make for an exciting time of squad building. That's what I'm looking forward to. I feel like the Bounty Hunter squad, how do I put this delicately? Yes, you got the Hutt Cartel, you got Jabba, they're banging. No one's disagreeing about that. But just the Bounty Hunter in general, at least in the end game, it's not super, important at the moment. Yes, you got Fennec, which she has her... What? Well, end game? You don't know what end game is? I told you, she's got the Swiftly virus, man. Everything's got to be a Swift reference there. I want to be an endgame. Because all you play is that. There's no one else in the world. Only Taylor Swift. Maybe Post Malone she'll play once. But Taylor Swift is the queen, and Post Malone is the king consort, queen consort, right? However it was in House of the Dragon. Anyways, I'm losing my train of thought. Anyways, bounty hunters, I feel like they're not really a hot topic in the game right now. Is that a Taylor Swift song? I don't know. But yeah, not yet. But it'd be nice having like a new like Bounty Hunter 2.0 that's a bit more dynamic, a bit more involved out there because they lost their steam. I think a lot of us can agree. And again, they're not like trash, but you know, I miss the days when Bounty Hunters were like top tier, you know, taking down top end game, you know, General Skywalker, Darth Vader, which you can, but the meta's moved far beyond that. But here you go. Here are their previous release characters that'll get the mercenary tag. Check this out. Balin Skull, of course. Boba Fett's Sign of Django. Oh man, this is why we have the term garbanzo beans. It's because of Boba Fett's Sign of Django. Boy, the poor guy, man. Yeah, this is one of those guys where you unlock him and you likely shouldn't upgrade him. But what if he's gonna be Bangalicious? She likes that word. Bangalicious with my Balin Skull and these other mercenaries. That'd be interesting. So I'm rooting for Boba Fett's Sign of Django. I truly am. Cad Bane, Canderous Ordo, Cara Dune, Dashrandar, Dengar, Dr. Aphra, Embo, Fennec Shan, Han Solo, Hondo, Jango Fett. Hey, we talked about Hondo. Remember, Hondo gave us a definition of what a mercenary is, so good to see him here. Jango Fett, Jedi Knight, Cal Kestis, Chrysanthemum, Kyle Katarn, Elk 7 Merrick, Mission, Kira, Son of Star, Shin, Hati, the Mandalorian, Beskar, Armor, Vandor, Chewbacca, Vet Han, Young Han Solo, Young Lando, Zalbar, Zamweth. So it's quite an expansive thing. I don't think it's as big as the Scoundrels. I don't think it's as big as Scoundrels, but it's pretty big. So you got like the Scoundrels, then you have the Mercenaries and Bounty Hunters in terms of probably size right now. So then we get to our designers when it comes to our upcoming new mercenaries. So here's our first look at Shin. Shin and her master Balin appear to be self-sufficient mercenaries in the Ahsoka show. Their seamless coordination and prowess in every mission is reflected in Shin Hati's design kit. Alongside him is Merrick, whose support amplifies Shin's effectiveness. Shin's character is defined by her grace in combat, her lightsaber skills combined with the use of the Force. These attributes are central to her design as an agility attacker in the game. I don't know, like they always like the nerd out. They always talk about the different archetypes in the game. It's like, I don't remember what agility does in the game. Anyways, her character reflects the careful consideration of her quick-wittedness, which captures her ability to escape from perilous situations with ease. Players are encouraged to dive into the game and explore the depth of Shin as her skills. May your adventures be as exhilarating as her journey. And then Merrick, I don't think I've seen this in here. I'll double check, but I believe these two are going to be marquees, probably required at Relic 7 for Balin Skull. Merrick is a very interesting character to work with in the show. He doesn't speak much, but appears alongside Shin. He is a mysterious character whom we don't know much about, so there's a sense of excitement whenever he's on screen. Merrick, what's up, bud? Yeah, you doing better? You good? Okay, all right, good seeing you, man. Merrick has two crucial encounters with the formidable Ahsoka, showcasing his combat experience. My intention for Merrick's kit is to highlight his skills as a fighter and how he supports his allies during critical moments of the story. The mystery he brings to the table is very exciting, and I am looking forward to revealing him to you all. And then the big papa, Balin Skull. Balin, there you go. Balin has proven to be a big challenge during development, simply because Ray Stevenson brought so much nuance to the character that we wanted to make sure it was included and felt in the kit so that it was right. The way his fight scenes played out in the Ahsoka show, Balin felt like more than just a powerful Force user. He put all of his physical stature into his fighting style as well. He is brutal but calculating and intentional. Even as we see Ahsoka start to struggle in the fight, Balin only seems to get stronger. He is a tank in label, so there you go. I kind of imagine he'd be a tank. But in reality, he's also a bit of a bruiser or a juggernaut in playstyle. His kit was developed with the idea, kind of like if I think, this is like, I don't know why, the first thing I think of is Ganondorf from Smash Brothers. That's what I imagine Balin to be. A very durable guy, but he's got some big hitting hits. His kit was developed with the idea that he will not only get stronger as the battle continues, even as his opponent's tires or weakens. And it's been a great honor to work on this kit and bring this character in the game, and I hope that the players enjoy all the details we try to incorporate based on Rey's portrayal of the character. So remember, Balin is going to be an epic confrontation. Right now, we know that Great Mothers are Relic 7, Thrawn Relic 7, Morgan Elsbeth Relic 7. I'm imagining Merrick as well as Shin are going to be required at Relic 7, although not confirmed here. So we're going to learn more about those guys over the course of time, and I really, as much as I like those characters, I want to see how the Mercenaries are going to operate. And again, I'm hoping Boba Fett's Sign of Django really gets some love out of this. We'll have to wait and see. So here's a little tidbit on Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano. While development of Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano is still in early stages, we wanted to reach out to designer working on them. My prediction is it's probably going to be late November, December potentially when Ahsoka comes out, because again, they said we're not getting her until we get Ezra. We're not getting Ezra until the end of October, early November. So how is development going for GL Ahsoka? Any early indicators on what direction you'd like to take her? Though it's still heavily implied in progress and subject to rigorous changes, she'll be fulfilling a tanking role for her team with an emphasis on the battlefield control. Like many other light side Galactic Legends, she'll rely on her allies heavily though certainly she'll be no slouch should the tables turn and she finds herself seemingly alone in the vastness of the galaxy. Feels like she's got some experience in that department. And what's the hardest part? How they overcome it? Like many characters, we want to capture the essence of the snapshot in time we're taking of them. This character has gone through many journeys and likely grown considerably in who they are since the first appearance. As such, we want to make sure that we're capturing those moments authentically. While this is an exercise on every character we make, it's especially important and peak challenging on Galactic Legend characters often represent the ultimate or peak version of that character. Mechanically, Galactic Legends can be challenging because there's a lot of allowance and room for more complex mechanics. And while that can be very liberating from a creative point of view, it also brings plenty of considerations as well. I mean, we're already seeing what Ezra Bridger Exiles bring in. Yeah, I mean, that's already a really good start. Imagine they start layering this stuff on with Ahsoka. And I want to, they didn't say anything here, but I want to imagine that we're going to get one more character. It just, maybe not, we'll have to wait and see. Overall, there's just more expectations for how a Galactic Legend will play, feel, and perform in the game. And when you combine all those factors together, it adds up to quite a lot. We overcome these challenges by heavily collaborating with one another and doing the research. We're all in this together. Actor interviews when relevant, clips, rewatching shows, bless you by the way, and movies, books. It's all on the table, and we can do some pretty deep dives to find those key moments that best represent the character. Boy, they keep on going. Mechanically and balance-wise, it's all about lots of changes, tweaks, and iterations very rapidly. Try an effect, test how it feels, test how it performs, adjust, remove, or add as necessary, and do that repeatedly for months at a time, and verifying those findings with colleagues. And then it's incredibly important to collaborate for an instant fulfilling process. Yeah. Okay, but we're excited to provide the very early look of a new ship making their way to the holotables in the near future. The Punishing One. The ship is flown by the bounty hunter Dengar's modified Jumpmaster 5000, which is known for its uniquely asymmetrical design. The Dengar ship has famously had no holding cells in order to transport his bounty hunting targets, so he would just take the former option of wanted dead or alive and just transport his targets via the cargo hold instead. Man, simple man, you know? Why waste all that money on building a brig? So here's a little breakdown of the Punishing One. And then we're going to do a little 4D chest here. Dengar's ship, the Punishing One, is meant to provide another option for the Executor fleet. So the video that I'm not going to post, I was speculating that we're probably going to get maybe an Empire ship that maybe could help out Thrawn, because my theory was, okay, you're right, we're all guessing that we're going to get a Galactic Legend Thrawn or some new variant of Thrawn or something that's going to make Thrawn synergize with Enoch and all the remnants. You know, again, that's all speculation at this point. So I was like, oh, okay, we're going to kind of follow the show, where I thought we were going to get like a Morgan Elsbeth ship, because you need Morgan Elsbeth to get to Thrawn. So I thought it kind of made sense from a lore perspective and kind of made sense of the game. But no, it was it's a new boost for the Executor fleet. So I was a little bit off in predicting the ship. I thought it was going to be Morgan Elsbeth. But Dengar's ship, the Punishing One, is meant to provide another option for the Executor fleet. Adding the Punishing One to the starting lineup of the Executor fleet should help the fleet perform better against most matchups. Leviathan will remain a difficult matchup, but Executor should be able to hold more consistently against everyone else. Let's do a breakdown, quick meta breakdown of where the Executor is on defense. Finalizer, super budget counter. I think this is probably meant to shut down the Finalizer. Next thing you have, the Negotiator. Negotiator's baiting pretty much all variants of the Executor lineup. And then, you know, kind of beyond that, you have Chimera, which can get the job done, especially if TIE Defenders help. And then, you know, you have the other capital ships, Profundity and Leviathan, can beat Executor. When it comes down to the offensive thing, Executor, you know, beats pretty much everything. You know, it could beat Profundity if you play your cards right. Leviathan's a little bit more challenging, but it could be possible. So I'm wondering what this is trying to do. Is it trying to address the offense, the defense, the both sides of things here? I'll be honest, I wasn't really thinking that the Executor needed a bigger boost, but I'm sure a lot of people would like it. You know, making their Executors better. I think people probably, if I had to guess, people would rather just get one ship that's going to greatly improve their current fleets that they have, rather than farming a new one. On that note, I'm guessing this means we're not getting a new capital ship this year. If we're not getting any notice now, and this is what we're getting instead for ships, yeah, I would say probably take the idea of a new capital ship this year, so the pattern has been broken. And the other thing I want to bring up, because that's basically all they have here, the other thing I want to kind of bring up is I wonder, we're going to do a little 4D chest here. It's cool to see we're getting a new ship. Yeah. It's been a very slowest year for ships in ages. The last thing we had was Comeuppance, and that was literally the beginning of the year. I'm wondering if maybe, depending on how this Punishing One works, they're talking about the starting lineup, so who's that going to replace? Xanadu Blood's way too important. You could replace Houndstooth, so maybe it goes in place of Houndstooth. We'll have to wait and see. Or maybe it's targeting the Razor Crest. What if they're trying to set up a situation where they're going to free up the Razor Crest for maybe, something down the road. What if we get like a Mandalorian fleet of some sort? We saw a lot of Mandalorian fleet action inside of the Mandalorian Season 3 show, so maybe they're going to work towards something like that again. A little bit for the chest. I don't know if you want to go that far into the rabbit hole with me, but as it stands, lifting your Executor to new heights, probably be good news for a lot of people, and for those that may be relying on the finalizer counter a ton, we'll have to wait and see how that looks. But people, that's what we got here today. Our look at Shin, our look at Merrok, a little bit of Balin Skull, a little tidbit on GL and Ahsoka Tano, the Mercenaries, and of course, the Punishing One. Now on that note, people, that's going to wrap it up for today's episode of AHN Arnold Holonet News, where it's the only news you'll ever need because you have no other choice. Any last words, Harley? We going bye-bye? I see. You can be. They're snoozy. All right, people. Thanks for stopping by. And always remember, it's great to be in the bike. Okay. There you go. Wow, I'm surprised you actually knew that. Wow. Okay. I guess. Yeah. Okay. Listen, it's the price she pays to be with me. All right, someone, Kylo, roll out the outro. Let's go. Where's the music? It's you. That's not the song. It's you wanna be an gay. I want to be in your membrane. Is that how it goes? Okay. Bye.